Today is May 29th, 2025. Do you know what that means? Apparently it means the Thunderbolts is leaving the theater.
That was quick.
Well, this came up on my Twixter feed the other day, and it was unusual. Never saw this anywhere else before. From a site called Small Screen Company. It's founded on their Facebook site. And honestly, I didn't know what to think about it. I can't find much on it otherwise saying, yeah, this is going to happen. But yeah, at this point, no dispute. Thunderbolts is not doing well.
Understatement of the year.
Going to look at the numbers site, you can see that at this point it's taken in just a little shy of $360 million worldwide. The reported budget is 180. That's not including any marketing costs or anything. And I think it's become pretty well known what most people know about Disney, Marvel's production numbers. And you can even see, just looking at the chart, it's at the very bottom of that shaded section, which means, yeah, it's not going to make any money.
You're probably right about that.
Even Forbes magazine has an article, Thunderbolts will not escape being the second lowest earning MCU film. And when you scroll down and look at the numbers here, the bottom one, of course, is the Marvels. That's no shock. Captain America, the First Avengers, listed at $370 million. It may pass it. I think that's actually unadjusted for inflation. Of course, anything, most of these numbers here are unadjusted for inflation, but it's pretty clear that it's not going to be a success. So, yeah, it's bleak for the Thunderbolts.
Well, you're not wrong.
And you know what? In a way, I almost kind of feel bad. Let me clarify what I mean by that. I have seen the Thunderbolts. I saw it once in a very unconventional fashion, and then I actually saw it. I would say it was a very mid MCU movie. It would, I'd maybe put around, the level of Thor, Dark World, which was not a great movie.
Oh, that's true.
But there had some enjoyable moments to it.
That's really nice of you. Wow, that's such a nice thought.
I thought, well, first off, I like most of the actors in this. I like Florence Pugh. I like Sebastian Stan. I like David Harbour, Wyatt Russell. I used to like Julie Louis-Dreyfus until she played this role, because in my opinion, basically she's just channeling her character from Veep into a quasi-villainous role, which was ridiculous.
It's De Fontaine. You forgot the de.
Pullman actually did a decent job with the character he was given.
I'm Bob.
The real problem with this movie is I don't think this should have been a movie. First off, the MCU shot itself in the foot by getting rid of all of its main characters. There's no more Iron Man. Cap's gone. These are all, I'm going to say, C-list at best characters. None of these characters have had their own movie, and that's where this differs from. Of course, at the end, when it's revealed that they are not the Thunderbolts, because the asterisk actually means they're the new Avengers. Yeah, this is God, I guess it's kind of analogous to me to Cap's kooky quartet in the early years of the Avengers comic books, which consisted of Captain America, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye. This is a weird team to put together. I know they were trying to do sort of like a Suicide Squad vibe with a bunch of anti-heroes becoming heroes. The real problem, I think, for Marvel at this point is they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for the characters. They got rid of all the main characters, so now they're trying to elevate the secondary characters, who are great supporting characters, up to the next tier, and it's not working. So the only one in this movie I think that could have his own movie on his own is Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan is a great actor. I've always enjoyed his work, and I think he's done a great job as Bucky, and I think he has an interesting story to tell as a single character. Personally, I'd like a weird buddy cop movie with him and John Walker. But everyone else was introduced secondarily. The new Black Widow, Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, Red Guardian, played by David Harbour. We saw them in the Black Widow movie, which came out during lockdown time, and very few people saw it. And of course, some significant legal actions occurred in relation to that movie with Scarlett Johansson. So you're talking very secondary characters. Ghost, most people don't remember Ghost. Taskmaster, well, that was taken care of pretty quick in this movie. Yeah, so that wasn't even a character. John Walker, again, introduced on a Disney Plus show. Most people don't know who he is. And then, of course, Bob.
I'm Bob. I told you. Yeah. Bob. Jesus Christ! Stop saying Bob.
The Sentry. The Sentry is actually a very interesting character who first appeared in the early 2000s after the Avengers disassembled line, and he became a member of the New Avengers. He is kind of a split personality. The basics of what you saw in this movie is Bob, Robert Reynolds, the Sentry / the Void. I think where they went wrong with this movie is they tried to stick too much in too fast with characters who didn't have good buildup. There were some elements to this movie which I enjoyed, like I said. Bucky, I think, is a good character, significantly underused. John Walker, unfortunately, was the punchline of many jokes, as was Red Guardian. It seemed like they were the off and on jokes. This was mainly, to me, Florence Pugh's movie, and I think it should have just been her on her own. Honestly, I think this would have been better as a TV show. I think you could have had the time to develop the characters, show through individual episodes, their storyline. If they're trying to focus something on mental health issues, which is what many people were, extolling about this movie, showing the issues of mental health, they could have done it that way, individual episodes. But this seemed very shallow. The ending, of course, was winning because everyone hugged Bob. It wasn't a victory over any bad guys like we've seen before. It was really just everyone feels good. So, it just didn't work. I think the storyline didn't work. I think it was trying to stick too much into a movie, and it was just a mess. There were good elements, but most of it was a mess. And again, they've gone too far with some of the stupid humor. So I'm not surprised. First off, I don't believe actually this thing is being out of theaters right now, because I just checked, Fandango, and it's still in a bunch of theaters in my area in Florida, but they're all standard showings. There's not IMAX or 4DX or whatever the heck it is. So it's gone off to the hinterlands, so to speak, and no one's going to see it. It's just, this is again another misstep by Marvel. It's not surprising. Marvel's had a lot of problems ever since the Infinity Saga concluded, and this felt like something that was not necessary, and certainly not anyone really believing to be the Avengers. So whether it's true or not, it's leaving the theaters. All I know is this is a very mid movie, which is going to try to have significance, but will probably for the most part be forgotten by most people. Anyway, questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click all the good buttons, and I'll see you guys next time.